Hey gorgeous, today we're going to talk about 5 common soulpreneur fears that can hold you back in your business, what they mean, how to raise your vibration out of that fear to activate the law of attraction so you can share the message of your heart-based business. Let's get to it. Welcome back to the Powerhouse. Vanessa here, coach, trainer, and creator of the Powerhouse Business Academy. For regular motivation and heart-based business and coaching strategies, make sure you click the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. My favorite acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real, because it's a reminder I need that when I'm in the fear and my monkey mind is freaking out, that it is false evidence, that my fear is not real, because you know what I'm talking about. When we're in it, we are in it, and it feels so real. It feels overwhelming and terrifying, and we need to figure out what to do about it. So we're going to look at 5 common fears that I see over and over again in my soul-based business owner clients and coaches, and figure out what to do about them so that you can get on with building your business. And the first and most common fear that I see in my soulpreneur clients is the fraud factor. The who am I to be doing this? Who am I to be stepping up? Who am I to be helping these people? I'm not perfect yet. Who am I? And this is what we call fraud factor or imposter syndrome. And there is only one thing that you need to know about this, and that's this. Everybody's got it. Everybody has it. Every single freaking person that I've ever talked to, read a book by, seen do a video about anything, everybody has moments of feeling like a fraud, of wondering who the hell am I to be doing this because I'm not good enough, clearly. And since everybody has it, you can ignore it. I know that seems weird, right? Like we should dive in, we should unpack it, we should explore it, we should figure out why we've got it. Screw it. No. Everybody's got it, and it is the very essence of the enemy working on soulpreneurs, on light workers, to convince us to keep our light tucked under a bushel basket and stay in hiding. The best thing you can do to overcome imposter syndrome and fraud factor is remember that everybody feels that way, so it's a load of hooey, and then get on with it. Because let's just say that it were true. Let's say, okay, you're not good enough to do what you're doing. What are you gonna do about it? Stop? Nuh-uh. Not if you're a soul-based business owner, not if this is your mission, not if this is your passion, not if there's this drive in you that's telling you to step up, get out there, make an impact and change the world. You're not just gonna quit. Sadly, a lot of people do. So the way that I like to deal with imposter syndrome in myself and in my clients is just to remember that we all have it. It's not going to make us stop. So we might as well just be like, yeah, okay, maybe I'm not good enough. I'm still going to do it. And then move on, because it's all crap anyway. The second really common fear or limiting mindset that I come across in my soulpreneur and coaching clients is some variation on selling is sleazy. I cannot tell you how many people I have had say to me, I just don't like selling, or I wish I could do this without selling, or I never have to sell anything, so I don't want to have to sell this either. That is a fear of selling. And it's also a load of hooey, because we are selling all day, every day. If you are communicating with another person, or even if you're just trying to convince yourself to do something, you are selling. If you want to go to a particular restaurant, if you want your kids to clean up their dishes, if you want your spouse to take you out for your anniversary, if you want anything to happen in your personal life, you've got to sell the people around you that it's a good idea. If you want to get out of bed in the morning, if you want to get in your workout, if you want to write that book, if you want to accomplish anything in your business, you've got to sell yourself on the idea that it's worthwhile. And as soulpreneurs and coaches, we are masterful at selling. We've got to where we are only because we've been so effective at selling ourselves and others on our dreams, on our mission, on our ability to get ahead and do things. And yet when it comes to the idea of getting on the phone with someone, having a conversation about the possibility of working together, and them handing you money, many of us freeze. We have no idea what to do. We have this anxiety and fear that well up within us, and we get overwhelmed and start to freak out. And many of us on a discovery call will simply skip the sales process altogether and assume that people don't want to work with us and end the call. And this is a tragedy, because what you're actually doing is depriving the person on the other end of the call the opportunity to work with you and get the transformation that you can provide if only you would have the courage to stand in place and make your offer. Because soulpreneurs and coaches tend to be spiritual, a lot of us will say things like, it just isn't in alignment, or it's just not the right time for me to be making offers. And that's bogus. And what's really happening is that you're afraid of rejection, you're afraid of failure, and selling and having people give you money is outside of your comfort zone. It's not going to feel good until you do it a bunch of times. You're depriving people of the gifts, of the transformation that you have, that they've drummed up the courage to get on a call to talk with you about because they believe you have value, and instead you're showing up and depriving them and demonstrating that you don't believe you have value. This is a huge fear, and we need to deal with it by realizing that it's going to be uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable to ask people to give us money. It just is. It's outside our comfort zone. And I can tell you, after almost 20 years in the personal services industry, that it gets easier. I'm now at a place where I love selling, because when I sell, when someone says yes to an offer that I make, they are saying yes to themselves, yes to their soul, yes to their transformation, and yes to building a life that they love. So I get excited and I get passionate and I take a firm stance for the people that I'm on a call with to take action, to make a firm decision. And I fully expect that when I'm on a call with someone, they're going to say yes if it's a good fit. That fear of rejection I mentioned, that is a deep-rooted fear of abandonment and loss of love, and it's something all of us have. We're afraid on a really deep level that if they say no, we'll die. We'll just die. And it's not true. But that fear on that deep unconscious level makes it unsafe, and that's why we back down, find ways around it, and never show up the way that we're meant to. And speaking of this fear of selling, of rejection, the third big fear that I see is that I shouldn't charge for my gifts. This is closely related to the selling is sleazy, and it is slightly different. The best description that I ever heard from a client was that she just wanted to be a monk, wandering the countryside with her beggar's bowl, taking alms, receiving charity, because that way she could help people without ever having to sell and not charging for her gifts. This masks a deep hatred of money or a fear of money, and it crushes your vibration. Instead, you have to get clear that money is part of the energetic exchange between you and a client. It's how they show they value you. It's how they show gratitude. It allows them to keep the energy exchange balanced. And instead of creating codependency by them giving you money, one, it enables you to pay your bills so you can continue to share your gifts, and two, it allows them to be free from any energetic entanglement and codependency. And another interesting twist about this whole I shouldn't charge for my gifts thing is that the essence of who you are, the things that come naturally to you, your gifts, are what is most valuable about you. It is why you're here and the unique vibration that you're meant to contribute to the world. And when you say no to money and you block it out and you turn away from it, in essence what you're telling the universe is, this isn't how I want to survive. This isn't how I want to be in the world, which means you'll end up taking a job and doing your gifts as a hobby, when what you were given was the opportunity to express your gifts as a business and receive compensation for it. I believe in this so strongly, and I believe in your gifts and your ability to sell in the marketplace. I believe in the value that you bring to the marketplace. And I want that belief for you because it will raise your vibration and activate the law of attraction when instead of unconsciously pushing away money, pushing away that energetic exchange, you open up your arms and you welcome it in and you say, yes, this is why I'm here and I'm pleased to be able to contribute in this way. And the fourth big fear that I see in my soulpreneur and coaching clients is, what if it doesn't work? This could be in a single session with a client where you hit a snag and you think, oh, I don't know if this is working, or I don't know if this will work. Or it could be about your dream and your business altogether and thinking, I'm not sure if this is going to work. This fear can keep us from ever signing a client, ever going into a session, and definitely it can keep us from ever building the business that can support us and take us to our dreams. The key mindset flip here is to surrender, to stop focusing on yourself because it's not about you. When you're a soulpreneur, when you're a coach, you are simply the channel for energy and information to be exchanged. It isn't your job to make anything happen. It just isn't. You are the facilitator between divine energy and the client. You are the channel through which divine energy and client energy flows and mingles and combines to create transformation and miracles. You hold the space, you create the opportunity, you open up new possibilities for the client, and it isn't your job to make it work. That's the client's job. And if you need to sharpen up your coaching skills or your energetic skills or whatever work it is that you do, if you know that there are skills that you need to sharpen, absolutely do that. But don't hold yourself back waiting to be perfect in order to get to work. You will attract clients who are perfect for where you are now. And as you grow and mature and develop your skills, you'll attract different clients who are at a different level. So right now, just get out there, make your offers, find people to help, and get to work. For most of my clients, it isn't that they need to get better at what they do. What they need to get better at is staying in their body, anchoring into their power, and tapping into the magic that they already have in their neurology. For most of us, we're really good at what we do. We're just terrified that we're not good enough. And that fear keeps us stuck and hiding and out of the game. To quickly counter this fear in the moment, if you're in a session or it's really seizing hold of you, instead of envisioning what will happen if it doesn't work, which is worrying about the future, envision what will happen when it does work. How will it feel? What will it look like? What sounds will you hear from your client? That's what you want to do. Feel the goodness of how good it will feel when you win. That will lift your vibration. Again, activate the law of attraction and start to draw in the clients, the events, the possibilities, the opening, the space for you to take the next steps in building your soulpreneur business. And I'm about to share the fifth fear that I see devastate soul-based business owners. And I want to make sure you've got everything you need. So I've included a link in the description to our 15-day planning pajama party. It's coming up in January, and we're going to take bite-sized pieces out of your planning to make sure that you get 2020 laid out, organized, and ready to go. 15 days, bite-sized pieces, tiny little baby steps, because that's how you build neurology and success. And that's linked in the description. I want you to start thinking about what your nugget of gold is today. What did you learn, realize, or remember that you'll be able to use right away? What is one fear that has been paralyzing you, and what will you do to shift it in 2020? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you there. If these fears are hitting home and you know you need to do something about them, come on over and join the Powerhouse on Facebook, or come on into the Academy, where we work specifically on creating the mindsets of success and building a powerful heart-based business. Engagement is everything, especially for small YouTube creators like me, and you can help this channel grow while you help others by sharing this out, liking, commenting, and if you haven't already, clicking subscribe and ringing the bell so you get notifications when we upload new material, which is every week. It makes all the difference. For those of you Mojo Masters who know to watch all the way to the end of the video, here is your fifth power tip. Sometimes what we think is fear is actually reverence or awe. And our quote today is from Tara Mohr's book, Playing Big. Oh, it's such a good book. And we are on page 66. Rabbi Liu explains that in the Hebrew Bible, there's a second word used for fear, yira. Yira has 3 different meanings. 1, it is the feeling that overcomes us when we inhabit a larger space than we're used to. 2, it's the feeling we experience when we suddenly come into possession of considerably more energy than we had before. And 3, it is what we feel in the presence of the divine. Listen, when we're rocking it out in our soul-based businesses, we start to unlock new resources and awarenesses inside of us. And we start to build a new intimate connection with the divine. And when that divine energy starts to download into us, it can be scary, like terrifying, because suddenly there is a high vibration that we've never felt before, a massive voltage flowing into us, and we don't understand what it is because nobody's taught us, nobody's guiding us, and we don't get it. And so the reaction can be fear. And that high voltage pouring into us can actually cause us to shut down. It can cause us to pull back, dissociate from our bodies, and lose the connection that we've actually been working so hard to get for so long. Learning to hang with and be comfortable with divine energy is one of the areas that we work on in the Academy, and it is essential if you want to impact the world and build a heart-based business. You've got to learn to discern the difference between awe and fear. And yes, all those places in the Bible where it says the fear of the Lord, they're talking about yira. They're talking about awe and reverence, not fear, the way we think of it. We're not meant to be scared of the divine. We're meant to be in awe of what is possible, the sanctity of life, and all that is so darn good. If you're ready to take powerful action in your soul-based business, make sure you join us in the Powerhouse for the 15-day planning challenge. And that's it. We're at the end of today's video. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.